This is a draft proposal for merit pay. And I'd like to start with that, we recognize that this is a controversial topic, but we also think that there's a lot of benefit for the town, for all of the stakeholders, and we'll get to who they are. But before I go into some of the detail, I just want to take you through this document. I want to tell you what it's not. And what it's not is, it's not a blueprint. It's not a structure for us to bring forward with any concrete ideas. It's an idea for a workshop for all of the stakeholders to come together to come to a solution that benefits all of the parties involved. So what's the problem? All informed stakeholders agree that Tiverton students, while above the state average, could achieve higher levels of excellence that stakeholders and students deserve. And the vision would be to bring Tiverton schools into the top 3 of the school districts in Rhode Island. We vision the stakeholders as being the students, the parents, taxpayers, teachers, unions, RIDE, and also the residents of Tiverton. And that we have 5 core beliefs. And I'm not going to read through all of these, but the first one here is, while of obvious crucial importance, many factors contribute to student performance, and teachers cannot be held solely responsible for student achievement. So we come down to a solution, and that's where we start talking about a workshop. And that's essentially sessions where the stakeholders get together to talk about ideas to best implement this. In my mind, you would try to understand maybe what other communities have done in order to implement this successfully, and to consider other outside factors that will ensure success. So on page 2, we're talking about some preliminary concepts here, but again, these are just ideas for us to ruminate on in order for us to understand what might or might not work. Down in the middle of the second page, we're looking at challenges and unresolved complications. And how does this fit into the current legal landscape? How would this fit into union contracts? How would we handle teachers that come and go into the system? And how would we fund this? Those are important questions to ask. I don't pretend to have answers to these right now. I think these are the answers that the workshop would produce over time. So page 3 suggests an action plan where we'd solicit feedback. Now, we can start that here this evening. And we would reach consensus on how we would implement this. The workshop would then bring forward a proposal to yourself, the school committee, and we would then work behind your leadership in order to implement something such as this. I think I started by saying that, we know that this is not without controversy. I had the opportunity to go see Deborah Gist last night in the workshop that she's doing with Race to the Top. One of the important things that I learned there last night was that in order for us, and just a brief aside, there was a dollar figure mentioned what the state might be eligible for, and that was somewhere north of $100 million. So in order for us to get there, you have to demonstrate, and this is just an excerpt from the guidelines. The actual application hasn't been published yet. But one of the excerpts is, can the state obtain statements of support from a broad coalition of stakeholders, including state and local teachers union leadership, LEAs, charter schools, and leaders in the community? So what is, to me, what that means is that everybody's got to work together in order for something like Race to the Top to work. Merit pay is an important part of that, and those aren't necessarily my words. If I could quote President Obama, Too many supporters of my party have resisted the idea of rewarding excellence in teaching with extra pay, even though we know it can make a difference in the classroom. So, controversy aside, I think this is an opportunity for us in Tiverton and statewide as well. And I'd like for you to consider this as a first step in creating a workshop to talk to merit pay for teachers.